And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is the Holy Fire Hangout, and today we're going to talk about soul contracts. My name is Will Mitchell. I'm a Reiki master teacher from Rochester, New York, and I specialize in Usui Holy Fire Reiki. So the format for today is we will do greetings and introductions. We'll go over what's an overview of Reiki. Just going to mute you there, Katie. I tried. There we go. Success. We'll do an overview of Reiki, the Reiki ideals, the Holy Fire, and the three heavens. We'll talk about the difference between meditation and a Holy Fire meditation experience, and then we'll open it up for discussions about soul contracts, and we'll do a Holy Fire meditation experience to see what the Holy Fire has to say about soul contracts. And then we can continue our discussion on what we've learned or new information on soul contracts. So today we have with us, we have Katie, we have Sabrina, and we have Wendy. Reiki. What is Reiki? Reiki is a Japanese relaxation technique that also promotes healing. It's made up of the two Japanese words meaning rei, rei and ki, where rei means universal or divine, and ki means energy. So Reiki means universal life force energy. It's the energy that's around us, in us, in between all of our cells, in between all of the subatomic particles. A practitioner lays on the hands on a client and taps into the infinite source of Reiki, and Reiki flows through the practitioner through the client. And Reiki goes where it needs to go and does what it needs to do. When Mikao Usui rediscovered Reiki in the 1920s, he gave us the Reiki ideals. He asked us to put our hands together in prayer every morning and every evening and chant these words to our hearts and chant these words with our mouths. The secret art of inviting happiness, the miraculous medicine for all diseases. Just for today, do not anger, do not worry, and be filled with gratitude. Devote yourself to your work. Be kind to people. Now the Holy Fire, it's that burning in your heart. It's your connection to everything, to all that is. It's your connection to your highest level of excitement. It's this and much, much more. The Holy Fire is a recent evolution in Reiki. It is both powerful and gentle, as well as provides purification, healing, empowerment, and guidance. Holy Fire Reiki is noticeably more refined and comes from a higher level of consciousness. It is unlimited. In Holy Fire Reiki, we teach of the three heavens, where the first heaven is our three-dimensional universe. It's the people in it. It's Mother Earth. It's the planets. It's the stars. It's the animals on the planets. It's the plants. It's the air we breathe. Second heaven is everything that's non-physical, dualistic, and ego-based. The third heaven, it's beyond ego and clear expression of God's unlimited love, awareness, and power. It always respects free will. Now I found that there's a difference between meditation and a Holy Fire meditation experience. In meditation, sometimes we're given a mantra and we concentrate on our breathing. When a stray thought comes in, something about going to the store or what we're going to make for dinner or what's on our to-do list, when one of those thoughts come in, we simply acknowledge the thought and simply return our attention to the mantra and to our breathing. With a Holy Fire meditation experience, it's pretty much similar. We have a visualization, and when one of the stray thoughts come in, we acknowledge the stray thought and simply return our attention to the visualization. Well, what happens when a stray thought comes in that's not one of the things on your to-do list or what you're going to make for dinner? That's the Holy Fire talking to you. So allow yourself to continue that experience. So now I'd like to open up and talk about soul contracts. Anyone wishing to unmute and give your interpretation of soul contracts? What is a soul contract? What does it mean to you?
You really want to go there with me? How many hours do you have?
I do. Because this isn't about me, it's about all of us. Everyone's opinion.
I don't know that this is my opinion. I'm getting feedback here. But this is what I've been told. Okay. That before we incarnate, we choose what we wish to learn, even some of the things that we wish to happen, and sort of like an outline of what is to happen. And part of the deal is for you to forget once you come down here. And that it's based partly on the previous life.
Okay, that's pretty simple. I like that explanation. It jives what I teach in Reiki class. So what I teach in Reiki class is what are souls, and what is your soul, and what's its purpose. And I teach that a soul is a collection of all your past lives, all the experiences that you've had in your past life, in every single one of them. So whether they're emotional trauma, whether they're happinesses, it doesn't matter. So that meshes with what Sabrina said about soul contracts. Katie, do you have an opinion on soul contracts? Okay. How about you, Wendy? Okay. Well, we'll get there later. Awesome. Awesome. Wendy, before we started the hangout, you said many awesome things before we started broadcasting. Do you wish to share now?
Yeah, I was just giving a little bit more thought to this whole thing about soul contracts, and I guess I've always felt as if I was here to maybe my soul contract was break some sort of a link. Yes. Yes. Actually, that was a very, very good video. I'm glad you brought it up because the Prime Creator discusses the soul contracts, and it's very, very good. And I feel like we've come here to do this on different levels. I'm getting a little feedback. Is that me?
It's probably both you and Katie being unmuted at the same time.
Oh, I see. Okay. And I feel like soul contracts can be, now that we've come into this ascension place of our experience, that now we've come to fulfill them. I love the word that you used, fulfill, because it leads us to the understanding. It's not like I like it because it doesn't use the word breaking, because breaking somehow has in our three-dimensional understanding, has a negative connotation. So when you see it as fulfilled, it takes on a completely new light, because now you've understood that, okay, I really did fulfill what I came here to do, and now I understand that part of it's a choice now, that now that we've ascended, we get to understand that since we did create this on a higher level, and now we are vibrating on a higher level, that we can understand that we have fulfilled it because we've become aware of it. And now I know the chains that I thought I was here to break in a three-dimensional, if you want to call it soul contracts, I understand that that's part of what I was here to do, and part of that has to do with my own mother and our contracts that we made together. And I realized that this part of this conversation is a contract that she and I had together so that she could go through what she's going through right now, and for me to help her understand that she no longer has to carry this soul contract. She's fulfilled it already. And we all know that anytime we resonate with anything less than our core vibration, it comes out in what we call ill at ease or disease. And I think part of that's tied to this whole soul contract thing, that we feel like somehow we're, I don't know, maybe abandoning something, or when it's nothing of the kind. It's just being aware of it and understanding that you've done it. That's why we're here. We've ascended. We've completed that task, and now it gets to be a choice of whether or not, is that still your highest joy or not? Is that really still your highest joy? Because if it isn't, that means you're done. You're done.
Are we ever done?
Well, no. With that thing, though, you are.
With that thing, yes. So I personally believe that our soul is constantly seeking balance, no matter what we're experiencing. So I kind of see our soul as laundry in a washing machine. You know, if there's too much on one side and you turn it on, you're going to get the big wobble. So we want to experience stuff on the other side to get more energy, more experience on the other side of the washing machine to achieve balance. And I guess we can talk about being in the vortex, which would borrow from Abraham Hicks. If you're aligned in the center, which means all your laundry is balanced, that's what it means to me, but you're also in the center, so you can draw on all of your positive and negative and neutral experiences from all parts of the vortex at any point in time. And I think, Wendy, that's what you were saying, is that's how we achieve being ascended, is that we're constantly in the vortex, we're constantly talking with our higher self, and we're constantly seeking our highest bliss. And yes. I also believe that we can go into soul contracts at any point in time, not necessarily right before we incarnate, because I also believe that we are constantly sending our information and our experiences back to our soul and back to source and to all that is, into all levels of, you know, into our soul groups, into the oversoul and things like that, so that everyone experiences and benefits from our personal experiences in this lifetime and every other lifetime.
I agree. And you know, if we take the three-dimensional idea about a contract in general and we apply it to what we understand about contracts, every contract that's ever been created, at least in my, example here, every contract that's ever been created, I think, on the earth, and let's use a paper contract as the example, a physical contract. Typically, a contract is taken out with the explicit idea that there's going to be an end to it. There's typically a start date and an end date. And typically the expectation is within that time, a specific thing will be created. Something. So if we take that idea and take that into the soul contract arena, and take your idea of constantly being as an ascension being, we're constantly aware that we're now in constant contact with our higher selves, then we understand that those contracts, like paper contracts, at some point have an expiration date. A contract typically does not go on unending, typically. Or if you do, it's renegotiated, isn't it? Reevaluated. Because now everything's changed from the time the original contract was written. Just like a building that's being built and the owner says, you know what? I love the original design, but you know what? Let's add this new thing. Let's write a new addendum to the contract. Better yet, let's tear up the old one and write a new one.
I love it, Wendy. I absolutely love it.
I love you, Will.
This is amazing. Welcome, Noha.
Hello, dear
But you
one.
also have free will, and with your free will, you can choose not to fulfill the contract.
Yes, you can. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah,
Welcome,
that's
Karen.
what I believe also.
If you choose not to fulfill it, Sab, then doesn't that mean that you fulfilled it?
Awesome point, Wendy.
Nah, so what, you wrote the contract so that you wouldn't fulfill the contract?
No, I mean by deciding that you no longer need the contract or wish to continue it, you've decided that you've fulfilled it.
No, I mean...
Sorry about my dog. I have a gift. My mom has arrived.
So what did you say, Sabrina?
No, I said, I mean, just go in a totally different direction and not even go in the direction of even starting, you know, a contract that you made for a certain thing, not the entire thing. So there's still feedback.
So why don't you give me an example of what you think is a soul contract, Sabrina?
Well, everything that you're going to do in this life.
One specific soul contract. Or one line item in your soul contract.
That what?
So you're saying that the soul contract is everything that you're supposed to do?
Everything, yes. Spirituality is one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, well, I don't know that every single little thing, but all the major things that you're going to do.
Well,
And
we're not really here to like focus too much on the soul contrast. The idea is kind of hidden for you, so that allows you to perform all the contracts without needing to have any problems with them, in a sense. We can't come here making soul contracts, but then we forget about it, so we can connect and fulfill those contracts freely without anything away. And we don't really realize when we have fulfilled a soul contract, in a sense. because what I understand about existence here is that it's completely not interrupting your life. But if you start focusing on your soul contract and worrying that you're going to miss the soul contract, then you're putting out that instead of kind of doing the soul contract. But that's something you have to learn as well. So that could also be a soul contract. It's pretty cool and amazing.
Thank you, Gabriel. Well said. Does anyone else have any ideas about soul contracts?
I do.
You share, Karen.
One second, my headset's not plugged in. Sorry. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think that when people start questioning their soul contracts, it's because they're not happy with what's going on in their life. And they're looking for any reason to explain why something's happening, and they're wanting a way to change it. And I don't really think it matters whether it's a soul contract or not. If something's going on in your life that you're not happy with, sometimes, it doesn't change, and it's an exercise in learning how to be happy in spite of it, to navigate your way around it. And sometimes it's an experience to guide you to learn how to change it. But I think sometimes soul contracts become the default excuse for why something's not going well.
I love that viewpoint. That is awesome. It's the excuse generator.
Well, it's because I have bad genes, or I was born in the wrong family, or born at the wrong time, or oh, it's my soul contract.
Exactly.
So it's not to say that you the thing is that why do we question our right to not have the right to want to change something? Or why do we question, that we even have the ability to change something? We have the ability most of the time. Sometimes, it may seem we may not have as much ability as we think. If we're walking down the street and the earth suddenly opens up and swallows our car, like what's happening in South Carolina with all the flooding, well, that might or may not have been your soul contract, but it definitely happened. And it definitely sucks for you because your car is now gone. But the whole idea of mastery in this life is about learning to stand on our feet regardless of the earth swallowing us or giving us a hump back or losing our jobs or bringing crappy people in our lives or removing people out of our lives that maybe we're not ready to let go of. But the idea is to be able to stand in our mastery and our knowing, and no matter what's happening, soul contract or not, we're okay.
Awesome. Totally awesome. I was going to get there after the Holy Fire meditation.
Oh,
but
sorry.
Thanks for getting there. No, you're perfect. To me, most of the time, I don't guide or I allow the conversation to flow. But I also believe in the KISS method to keep it simple. I do believe that we chose to come here on earth and incarnate so without any knowledge that we are divine, so that we can learn how to be divine again and take control of every aspect of our destiny and in our now, because really everything happens in our now. And so it doesn't matter. To me, it absolutely doesn't matter whether you consider it a soul contract or not. I like to say just sit in the bliss and bring more awesomeness into your current now, and then everything else just takes care of itself. If you bring so much awesomeness into this now, it will overflow into the next now and the next now and the previous nows. And that's how I believe that's the easiest way to fulfill any and all soul contracts and to stay contract free.
So you're saying
my
do it
personal
without
opinion.
an intention. You're saying do it without an intention. Just be in the bliss, and then it will smooth everything vertically and horizontally, and whatever is in between. It will smooth away all of it. But people are hindered back, in their lives. So this is why they want to go back and retrieve what they have chosen to do if it's not working for them in this life. See what I mean? Okay, soul contract, it's the notion that we have agreed on coming to this family, and whatever you are in, this is what you've chosen without knowing it after you came in, but before you came into this life, you knew what you are, and you knew you are divine and everything. But when you came in, some hindrance came up. You know what I mean? So, okay, let's say I've got some problems and I need to smooth my way back in order to flourish my way in this life. Then, still it's not working. So this doubtness is another hindering thing. You know what I mean? Did it work? Did not work? What is this? You know what I mean? So forget about this.
Well, let me ask you a
mentality.
question. Can I ask you a
Yes.
question? What is not working?
Whatever you are in, any situation.
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, the thing is that what is it that we really want? And what are you
Exactly.
measuring your idea of success by? I believe, this is what I believe, and this is what I've channeled, and I'm glad that I got this information. I'll share it with you. Success comes from richness of character and richness of experience and richness of knowing and richness of love. It has very little to do with what you have. It has very little to do with what's going on around you. The idea that we should only stand in lollipops and rose petals is not actually valid. There's so much experience. The idea is that we can walk through any experience still with our inner knowing of who we are. It has nothing to do with, oh, I don't have that job, or oh, I didn't get that man, or oh, this person was mean to me. Our experience and our love and our beingness is the centeredness that we are striving for, and that's truly the success when you're in that. The most enlightened people have nothing. They want nothing because they know that they are nothing. So I would question your measurement of what you see as going well versus what you see as not going well. And I would challenge you to redefine your definitions of success and accomplishment and being, because I think that so much of the time we're looking at the wrong things to give us fulfillment and knowing. We really need nothing. We really need nothing. Except that we're only saying, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that person, this didn't go well. That has nothing to do with being centered and being who you are. If anything, they're all distractions.
True. I understand this part. I know you gotta to surrender and you gotta be into yourself. Happiness is in you. It's not outside. It's inside you. In order to get it out and being in that bliss situation, this is what flourishes everything around you. I know it's a ripple thing. It goes around all dimensions. If you're happy, everybody, the next door neighbor will know while he is at his place. He will know you're happy. So.
Or he may not. He may not. That's the point I'm trying to
Believe me, if he's spiritual or so, they feel it at a distance. They do.
But you don't need. The point is, hon, what I want to point out to you is you don't need them to feel it.
Of course.
You don't need. It doesn't matter if anybody notices your happiness and your knowing. You don't need that. You don't need that clarification from anybody else. But there's no but there.
It's not that. What I'm trying to say is, they will feel your
It doesn't
happiness,
matter
the
what they
joy.
feel. It matters what you feel. It's not about anybody but you. Who
Of
cares
course.
what they feel?
What I'm saying is, no, they would get into this consciousness themselves without tapping
Yeah,
them.
but I'm not talking about them. We're talking about you.
I know, God, I know that part. I'm into this. I know all about it. Yeah, you got to
Okay.
surrender into the states in order to be happy, to be in awesomeness.
I don't know if you surrender or you just choose.
Anything is your choice.
You realize, that's what I think.
Yeah, you realize.
You
You
realize
choose
that
and
you
then in
are
the
already
realization comes.
perfect. You are already perfect, and there's nothing that needs to change.
Even in the midst of the worst, terrible
True.
moment.
Right. Yes. This makes sense.
And this is what happened when Siddhartha was when he became enlightened. There was
Yep,
much going on when he was sitting underneath the Bodhi tree.
yep.
And then all of a sudden he realized that it's all an illusion and it all doesn't matter.
Right.
And then poof.
He was enlightened. Whoa. But the world didn't change. Nothing got better. But he changed. He became better. And that was
His
it.
world changed.
Exactly. His ability to see the world changed as well when he realized it didn't need to change at all.
At all.
At all. The Bodhi tree.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're doing when we meditate, is we're trying to fill this now with everything or with nothing, basically, is we're pushing out all the distractions outside of this now, and we sit in the bliss in this now with all of our gratitude and our love and our appreciation and our joy. And if we fill up this now with ourselves, if we fill it completely with ourselves, nothing else can fit. And we realize, hey, we exist, we can't not exist, and we're just pure awesomeness. And then choosing your next now is simple because you choose your next now that closely resembles what this current now is. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if you want to go walk on thumbtacks. You can do that if that's your highest bliss, even if it's not your highest bliss. But I recommend doing your highest bliss.
My highest bliss is thumbtack free, I must admit.
I must admit that too. But there are people who like to lie down on beds of nails for whatever reason.
Yes, I know. I walked across hot coals once.
Nice. How'd that feel?
Exactly.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything.
You got into that state in order to walk on it.
Yeah. It was a
I
whole
know that.
group. Yeah, and you
Yes.
get all hooped up.
Yep, yep.
So I didn't feel anything.
Is it worth trying it?
You know, yeah, probably. It is probably worth it just to have the experience. And I did, other than finding out that I didn't feel anything.
Even
It was
afterwards.
well, we did it
You,
like 5 times.
oh,
You,
shoot, man.
so you went back and forth like 4 or 5 times, and not in succession, but each time you would get all revved up, and by the last time it was just it was more thrilling the fact that there was lots of people doing it and having the experience. I think it was okay. Would I do it again? Probably not. But it's fun to do. I mean, just if it's something you really want to do, then I say go for it. Why not? I get as much thrill as buying a nice pair of shoes or, you know, making a good dinner. I get as much of a thrill from it. So, but I say that now, having had the experience. So I
You
would
got
say
into
if
that
you want.
phase. You got into that phase of not collecting any more shoes like I do.
Well,
My
actually, I'm
goodness.
in the process of giving everything away.
I
So
know. I heard that YouTube of yours. I heard it.
I'm ready to. I'm
I
getting rid
watched
of
it.
everything.
Yeah. Well, women are like that. So what can you do?
Yeah,
We
I
need
know.
our
I still
time.
got lots of shoes. If anybody needs some, just come to
Thank
Holland.
you,
I'll
thank you. I need to donate actually. I've got so many things. Anyways, need to talk about hoarding.
I think you should do anything you want to do. Like my brother jumps out of planes and he just loves
Oh
it.
my God, I
I think I
can't do
wouldn't
that.
do it.
I won't do it too. I love my soul, you know. I wouldn't do that part.
But I love like big roller coasters and stuff. I go, the bigger and badder the roller coaster, I'll go on it.
No, I
I'm
can't.
thrilled.
Why should you get yourself dizzy? You know, you can do it by spirituality, by meditating. You know, like people go and drink to get drunk. You can get into that state by meditation. By the way, or feel it, or falling in love. You're in that state. You're drunk in that state. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
go
I don't
crazy when
know.
I.
There's something about me that likes going 200 miles an hour down a steep cliff and then flipping over and twisting and everything. I think it's almost.
Oh
I
my
laugh.
God!
I laugh so hard when it's happening. I love it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's the beauty of our individual experiences, that we get to choose whether we like to go 200 miles an hour down a cliff and then do loops, or whether we're just going to sit in the bliss.
Yeah.
I think that's the
I like
beauty of it.
watching horror movies because they make me laugh
Me too.
hysterically. I
You
just
laugh? We do laugh?
Yes.
I can't see that's just a
The
thing.
scarier it
Trust
is,
me.
the more I laugh.
I knew I
Wow.
liked you for a reason, Karen.
I just
Oh my
laugh.
goodness.
I promise you. Yeah.
No, I don't like
I
horror movies.
I don't know
I
why. That's just my reaction.
I ruin horror films for other people
Do you laugh
just because
too?
I'm laughing so hard. Yes, absolutely.
Are you? Yeah.
Yes.
I just get hysterical. What is that movie, Blade? You know the movie Blade? There
Uh-huh.
was when there was this one scene where they all went in. There was like this bloodbath, and I was just almost on the floor having, I was laughing, and people were really getting angry. And
I
I
can't
don't know
see
why.
wild stuff. I go berserk. You know,
I
I
laugh.
shout. I really literally shout. The kids are about me, and my nephews and my niece. They laugh at me. They think I'm going crazy. Because I can't see just a thing. I go berserk. It has to do with the past life or something. I don't know. I go nuts.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you know what's interesting is I just had an experience where I came face to face with some demons in an ayahuasca experience.
Oh, we did? Tell us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
This is
and
interesting stuff.
but what was interesting is I acknowledged them and then but I didn't actually interact with them, and I was just told that they were there, they were doing their thing, and that wasn't my path, so there was no reason to really interact with them. But a couple of them came up, and they were all like ferocious, like nar, with their like claws and everything. And I just looked at them and was like, "Oh, okay, so that's what you're about?" And they were like, "Yes," and I was like, "All right." And then they just kind of went their own way, but it was so like non-eventful. They come up with such a like a big like nar, we're ferocious and everything. And I was like, oh, aren't they trying so hard to be me? And they just went on their way. But that's just always my reaction to things. I don't get afraid. I get amused or bemused a little bit by
I don't I
even.
don't get I don't get afraid when I get attacked by negative entities. I used to when I go to sleep. Beforehand, I feel the notion that they're gonna come. I have before I go to sleep, and then it happens. But while I'm asleep, I'm lucid. You know, I feel
Mhm.
the entity, and the entity came last when he held my hand. You know, when I sleep, I have my hand out of the bed. You know, jushing out. So what happens? He came in and he held my hand, and I felt it. So I was wobbling my hand, and I held his arm. When I held his arm, he got furious because at that point I go, I'm stronger than than you are,
Yeah.
And then I can't take advantage of this because I have, I'm using my mind, I'm stronger than you do, and then you became stronger, on the spot. So, and then I called for Archangel Michael. That's how he went
Yeah, he
away.
kicks ass and takes names. Yeah, he's a good
Exact,
one.
on the spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, on the spot.
I
Wow.
once did a
So
house
do you think
cleaning
that was
with.
a soul
Oh, sorry.
contract of yours?
I asked about this entity, and he said he has to do something to do with my past life that he used to come in. You know, I don't know. He used to come all the time, but lately Jim kicked him out through what's his name? Took her. It's her name. I keep on saying he. It's okay. So he was kicked.
I
don't know
think
how.
they come to us. I think sometimes those energies come to us to. I think they're given the chance to come through only because we're also supposed to learn how to call upon our own protection. Because if they really wanted to hurt you coming through, they would hurt you straight away. They wouldn't stand there and go, "Arg, I'm gonna," you know what I mean? I mean, if they really, it's just like if someone wants to rob you, they're not going to tap you on the shoulder, have a nice conversation with you, and then say they're going to just grab your bag and run. And I think it's the same thing with the energies. They come through, or they're allowed to come through only so that we learn that we have the power to move, you know, to move them out. So that it's more of a reinforcement for us because we have so much protection. The fact that they get through it all is, I believe they have to be allowed through. I really think so.
I also believe, on that topic, I thoroughly believe in the law of attraction. That
Yeah.
if you if you're so blissful and so joyous and so grateful and so loving, you won't even attract the negative entities to come and
Right.
check you out.
Right. Unless you invite them. Yeah. Unless you say, "Hey, come
But I knew
over."
it beforehand. Before I went to bed, I knew that something gonna happen. You know, something's gonna happen.
Also, too, sometimes the negative energies are our negative thought forms in manifested form. I mean, a thought form can be just as ugly as anything, and if it's an ugly thought, it can rise up.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And attract other ugly thoughts out there in the universe.
There's a great book that was written many years ago, and I don't know how old you are, Will, but back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, there was a book was called Nothing in This Book is True, but nothing in this book is true, but it's exactly the way things are. And it talks a lot about thought forms and how they they leave us and then they join with other thoughts and then they become actual momentum filled beings because they attract similar energies and they just get bigger and bigger. And so sometimes the things that we're experiencing are not other negative beings, but they are thought forms that have become like beings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But do you
That's
remember
how
that book
everything
or
is
not?
created. No, I don't
Yeah.
remember the book.
Oh, it's
But
called
I
Nothing
believe
in
that's
This.
how. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say the title of it again, but never mind.
No, please. I'll type it in the chat box.
Nothing in this book is real, but is exactly how things are. Let me see if I can. I'll find it so you don't have to do it. Nothing. Oh, nothing in this book is true, but is exactly how things are. That's what it's called. It was the 15th anniversary. I was right about how many years ago. Yeah.
Yay. Oh,
Yeah,
we got an Amazon. Nice.
It's a great book. I haven't read it in years, but it does explain thought forms very well.
Right. And again, I like the KISS method, which means I'm not too concerned about how everything
Keep it simple,
coagulates in the universe. I just care about if I sit in the bliss and if I add gratitude to my life and I add joy and I add love to my life, I'm only going to attract those things to my life. It's as simple as that. Yes, it is called the KISS method, but I like, instead of saying stupid, I like using Stanley. Keep it simple, Stanley.
Okay. If I could cross the stupid out, I would.
Yeah. Let's talk about bad words, like stupid or fuck or that stuff. If you
Oh, we're now
eliminate
R-rated.
if you eliminate those words, I think it's much easier, isn't it? It's hindering, isn't it?
Well, that's good. It's a marketing phrase that they say the best way to communicate is just it's a lot of times it's about dumbing something down, but it's also about just staying very purely on the point and not going too far, making it too heady, too intellectual.
Yeah, my mother always said, ignorance is bliss.
Well, it is. It is and it isn't. It depends on, you can be ignorant of something, but you can also, like what we see with the media, just making people as dumb as possible so that they're so easily manipulated. I mean, that's just. No, because they're manipulated by fear, so they're afraid of everything, you know? Though it's changing, though. I mean, it's really changing. It's not as. There's still a group, but I think they're the smallest ones. But it's definitely changing. Thank goodness.
I agree. And it can change right now for you. All you need to do is choose. Or be happy.
You need to know what you need to know. So if you're ignorant, then it's good for you.
I think you already know what you need to know.
Exactly. You know what you know on the spot.
Yeah, that goes along with keep it simple.
Back to simplicity.
Simplicity, exactly. Simplicity. So we're ready to do a meditation. Awesome. So if everyone can mute, we'll ask the Holy Fire to give some advice on soul contracts. If there's anything better than keep it simple or sit in the bliss. Awesome. So everyone get comfortable, please. You could lie down, you can sit, whatever works for you. Just taking a deep breath. And exhale. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Let's take a moment to greet Mother Earth. Let's start in our heart center. Go through our root chakra, through our feet. Let's grow roots down into Mother Earth. Deep, deep, deep down. Wrap those roots around the core. And let's bring the spirit of Gaia back up through our feet, through our root chakra, and into our heart center. Breathing in, relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Now let's bring in some third heaven energies. Start in our heart center, go up through our crown chakra, up into the third heaven, the non-egoic, non-dualistic third heaven, and bring some of that unconditional love and other aspects down into our crown chakra and into our heart center. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Now let's mix those divine feminine and divine masculine energies together. just like the yin and the yang, and keep mixing them a little more and a little more so it doesn't necessarily resemble the yin and the yang anymore. Breathing and relaxing, exhale, releasing. Breathing and relaxing. And now on your next exhale, let's push out the combined divine masculine and divine feminine energies out into every aspect of your being, in everywhere and every when, past lives, future lives, every decision point ever. Breathing and relaxing. Exhale, releasing. Imagine yourself in a forest. There's much plants around. There's much life. As you look around, see a path in the forest. You walk along this path. The path exits the forest, and you continue. The path leads into a meadow. All your favorite flowers are there. You walk through the meadow, and you find the ideal spot to sit. There is dew glistening on the flowers around you. The sun is glistening off the dew droplets. There is one dew droplet that is shimmering in a special way. This light is from the third heaven. Allow this light to enter your soul. Allow this light to take you on a journey. When you are ready, if you feel guided to continue your experience, please do so. When you're ready, please bring your attention slowly to your fingers and toes. Bring your attention back to the here and now. Bring your attention back to your eyes. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. And if you feel guided, start documenting your experience. Do it online, do it in a notebook. This way you can look back and re-experience this experience at some later point in time. I'm going to write a few things down, so I'm going to mute. If anyone would like to unmute and share, please do so.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I was channeling in a sense, so it was awesome.
What did you channel?
Connecting to our body information about grounding. So thank you all for the support.
Thank you for a miraculous day, Will.
Oh, it's not me. It's the
My
Holy
mom's,
Fire.
my mother's first meditation, and she's understanding it's hard to quiet your mind sometimes.
Yes.
Tell her she's not alone.
Welcome, Mom. You're not alone. You're not alone. Anytime those stray thoughts come in to try to quiet your mind, just wave at them. Just say, hey, your noise, I appreciate you because you're part of my experience right now.
I had a great.
You can ask the Holy Fire to quieten your mind, and I did that.
I was fighting with myself for a long time, and for me it was like I can't really meditate the way other people meditate, and then I finally understood that I can meditate my own way, and I feel that's meditation in a sense, connecting to yourself. It's not having other people telling you how to meditate. You have the power to meditate however you want to do it, and then I felt so free to meditate.
Awesome.
And what makes it difficult? It's the thought. That is difficult. See? Does you see the point? Nowadays, I inject the holy fire in everything. It's working like miracle. It is. It is true.
It's not difficult. It's that KISS method again.
Simplicity. No silly. No, no, no.
Nice. Sabrina, are you back? And are you ready to share?
I am back. Nothing to share.
Nothing new to share?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Will. I'm sorry. My mom and I were just discussing soul contracts while you guys were talking, and how sometimes we just need to make the decision it's done and allow the law of attraction and synchronicity to show us, hey, once we've determined it's done.
It's done. It's done. Exactly. It's done. Karen, would you like to share? Go ahead, Noha. You
I was
unmuted.
saying, I was talking to the Holy Fire, okay, and I was saying, I want to get rid of my fears and phobias, in particular, because I have fears of heights, I have fears of, watching horror movies or, Animal Kingdom, whatever, So, and it said, just concentrate on what's your highest bliss, whatever excites you, just concentrate on it. And I go, okay, great. Well, at the moment, I'm enjoying salsa, the dances. So I went there, and after that, I went to healing my body, whatever it needs to be healed. And I was enjoying it. It was so exciting. It's just like you meeting your lover. Wow, it's enjoyable. Thank you, Will. You can see. Thank you enough, actually.
You're welcome. Sorry, Katie.
Merci
I
beaucoup,
got
monsieur.
feedback through you. I muted you. Hey, Karen.
Hi. Sorry. Well, I had an interesting experience. As soon as I went into meditation, I heard trumpets, like ba-ba-da. I was like, okay. I was like, oh, that's new. And then
The proverbial trumpets.
Why? I don't understand. Do you hear
No, just
trumpets too,
how
or?
people talk about when you feel when you know hear God or whatever, they hear you. People say hear the trumpets of the angels. You know.
Yeah, I did. It was like a trumpet, one of those, what is it called? A trumpet flourish. It was like ba ba da ba 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 ba, something like that. And I was like, oh wow, that's something. But then I was just sort of experiencing the violet flame um, energy, and I hadn't really. I was thinking about it the other day that I used to focus a lot on the different flames, blue flame and all these different things, and I'm really wanting to go back and explore those again. So I was just looking at the different flame energies and the different teachers that are associated with that energy, and I wasn't really having any kind of conversation, but I was just in a state of remembering and or experiencing that energy of that. So that's sort of where I was in that time.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't really bring back anything other than that I know that I want to start looking at that stuff again, which I haven't looked at in a long time. The different rays and the different flames that are associated with the rays. So,
Very cool.
yeah. And then with just the one trumpet at the beginning, no trumpets at the end. That's it. I think Ray did you freeze, Will?
I
Did I
did.
fall out? Oh, there.
No, I'm so happy that we have
No, I.
two wheels smiling. It's so amazing. And
Yeah,
now
there's
the
two
other
of
one is
them.
black. And they
He's
all smiling.
bilocated. He bilocated.
I
Thank you
can.
so much. It's really, I can feel it. It's so awesome.
Yes, awesomeness. I like that. Wow. I think Will came too soon when he said, when you're ready. I go, oh my God, I need more of this.
I did come. I did come early. I did come early because Spirit's telling me I got to get doing other things.
Oh,
So, but I do wish to share. Mine
go
was
ahead.
really interesting. Mine was really interesting. So, I was taken by angels to the Akashic Records. It was amazing. Um, and I was shown many contracts that I have fulfilled in the past. And the angels explained many aspects of the contracts. And it was pretty interesting. Um, I was shown a current contract to become a teacher of the Holy Fire. And I entered into this contract lovingly. And so thank you to everyone who participated in any way, shape, or form leading me to Reiki. I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I was shown many, many ways to fulfill contracts. And that, just like we talked earlier, the contracts really, really don't matter if you bring so much awesomeness into this now. And that a lot of times people use the contracts when they hear about a contract. Sometimes people hear about contracts from a psychic or somebody else tells them that it must be a soul contract, or other people or some people can actually receive information about contracts through meditation. But to me it's still all the same thing. It's I think Karen nailed it perfectly earlier, is that it's it's a bulletin board for blame, is that we can pin the blame on something else. Oh, that must be a soul contract, so therefore I don't have to take responsibility for that. Well, guess what? You have to take responsibility for all your actions, for all your thoughts, for everything. And that's the whole purpose behind karma, or it's the storing it in our soul. It's every thought is a form, and every thought is a thing, and it gets stored. If you think it, it's getting stored in your soul. It's as simple as that. which is why I believe that the law of attraction is the way to go. Is what do you want to bring into your life? It's, if you want to bring in awesomeness, guess what? Just be awesome. I was then reminded about Bashar and what Bashar says, that we choose this now. And every time we choose a now is we come in with it. We bring in, once we're in the now, we bring in our memories. We bring in any memories that we choose. Each now can have a different set of memories that come in with each new now. A different history, a different past, a different set of memories. And we choose our memories for each now. And it could be totally different in the now. And who are we to know? I mean, I came into this now believing that, you know, I went to grammar school, I went to high school, I went to college, and I was a software engineer for a long time. I believe that. But guess what? I came into this now with those memories. Maybe there was another now that I had a different set of memories. I can bring those ones into this now. I also shown how to postpone a contract or using your free will. If you don't resonate with something that someone says, don't resonate with it. And if it's in your contract, your soul's contract to experience this, it's just like, okay, well, a different me in the past or the future or in a different now, they can experience that and they can fulfill it. It's as simple as that. If you fill your nows with awesomeness, with so much awesomeness, that's really what your soul is trying to do anyway. And so they showed me while I was being in the now that not only so I saw all my thought forms that are collected in my soul all around in every which way from all my lifetimes. And in this particular incarnation, if I bring in so much awesomeness into this now, I see all the awesomeness coming in from all other aspects, not necessarily from my soul, but coming into my soul and just filling it up so much that all the other stuff just gets pushed out and they're insignificant. I mean, there's so much. So let's go back to the laundry and the washing machine being imbalanced or not imbalanced. Because if you put all your laundry on one side of the washing machine, you're going to get that wobble. And then you're going to have to stop it and resort everything. But bringing in so much awesomeness into this now, and then the next now, and the next now, and chaining those nows together, just make it so that any large item that's out there just doesn't affect the wobble anymore, because you're so centered and you're in alignment, you're in the vortex. So everything else doesn't matter anymore. Everything just gets magical. That was my experience. Hopefully I'm still connected.
You are. That was great.
Yeah, we hear you. Thank you, Will.
Okay. I didn't know if I was dropped out again and I was talking to only myself. Interesting. So does anyone else have anything to share before we go off the air? I'll take that as a no. So I will thank everyone for attending the Holy Fire Hangout on Soul Contracts. My name is Will Mitchell. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher from Rochester, New York, and I specialize in Usui Holy Fire Reiki. You can find me at my Google Plus channel, Reiki with Will. You can find me on YouTube at Reiki with Will, or you can find me at reikiwithwill.com. Thank you so much for joining. Remember that you are divine, and just be unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste, Will. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
once again.
Divine Will.
I love
Thank you
you
so
all.
much.
Bye.
We love you.